My name is Gokhan Avcioglu, principal and founder. GAD means Global Architectural Development, and also our foundation, GAD Foundation. Our architecture group established, founded 25 years ago. This year, our 25 years, the silver age, let's say. And almost we are 60 architects from the different countries and different disciplines. Mm-hmm. And also our foundation every year
is expanding and growing.
Yeah, and also every year with approximately 50 or 60 interns from different countries get together and work some workshops and some projects. Especially, we would like to give them the new architecture, more human and social aspects. I think that being an architect, it's not only the learning from the architecture school. I think you start primary school, maybe in the high school, learning about art history, and also some ancient civilizations and human being, many things. And also these or he would work on some techniques, not only to build a building, also dreaming and understanding his or her environment. And we always work on some infographics, comparing our projects, what we do, what we are working on, what we understand, what we learned before, what we did. And I think the infographics makes the knowledge visible. That's the important thing. How can knowledge and our experience visible? Architecture making a space full of them. What we like, especially the architecture design, not only architects, also engineer, we call them the archineer. And very important, the structure as a space also, not only the architecture. And we prepared different infographics like this, what happened before us, and what we are working on right now. What is the next steps, and who inspires us? Always we appreciate their works and then put in all infographics. The first one about the timeline. What happened? What kind of approaching the architecture? And second one about our behavior, our the mindset, the business, technology, and creativity. We would like to combine all our projects. As a business, what we learn, how can we make it sustainable? And second one, the creativity. Some of them more cosmetic, some of them art of survival part. And especially innovative way is very important for architecture today, especially the construction. That need the new robots and methodology and the different kind of the techniques. That's our focus on all our projects, step by step. How can we execute the building? How can we build that building?
So we'll begin by talking a little bit about the Cadde project. Would you mind explaining some project details for us?
Cadde is a kind of guerrilla store, guerrilla shopping mall, adding something to the existing shopping mall and making the more potential opportunity for buying, selling, gathering, and this kind of the public events. We like to design not only the permanent buildings and also creating a live more
temporary as well as
activity and event space. Event space is very important. Approaching the site to do something for us. And the Cadde, and I think the successful project. I think the fantastic potential for our next projects and also for our clients inspirational model.
So just to talk about where the project is situated, which is in Shishli, it's placed on an existing shopping mall on top, in an open space, and between two towers. One is a commercial tower, and the other one a residential. It's a project that finished in 2014. And
very new.
It's quite new, yes. 25 units, 2 floors, recreational rooftop, and also connects directly to the mall below it, and also has received 3 international awards. The first one in 2014 with the German Iconic Awards, the second one with in 2014 again with the European Property Award, and finally 2015 for the Green Good Design Award.
Exactly, and the Cadde shows us potential for every buildings, and we design and build, and also the existing buildings and the existing streets and for everywhere. Today we will try to understand the building potentials. It's not only the floor, also add something on the surface, on the top, on the roof, and hanging, adding, putting whatever this kind of the spaces. I think the next generation and also the Istanbul needs more green area, more space like a square, maybe not exactly a square, but the gathering. Because the social media makes them easily get the gathering. Actually, we work with some different projects. It's like a fish market, and this one, and the Borusan Music Center, and also Esma Sultan and the Gedik Pasha, and always we would like to make the dead space, that area, only residential area. We would like to add this kind of new. But it's not only new, also we talk about it, and it's the old flavor, old spirit, making the different places residential. There is no market, there is no so quiet, and all mixed it up. I like to mix it up. This project is quite like this kind of, but the urbanized, not only without the Cadde, the part, it's so strict and so hard for me. And I think that this model will be a kind of finding a way in between. And today, if you look at Istanbul, there are many local bazaar, temporary bazaar on the street for different days. Monday you can go to the Asian side. Tuesday you can go to the southwest, and you can go to different places, and every day if you need something affordable, fresh, organic, and also find some homemade clothing and some souvenirs from this kind of things. And we would like to organize this kind of relationship. Istanbul has approximately 33 municipalities, one great municipality, and that 33. We try to inspire them, and we talk them to give a place. Let's create this kind of spaces, temporary and permanent. We work on them right now, especially our foundations is a mission mindset, finding in this kind of places, the projects.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the location of Tram Cadde. It's in a neighborhood called Shishli, which is Mecidiyeköy Shishli.
It's a village, but
yeah.
It's the urbanized village. Mm. I think one of the biggest the village in the world.
Yeah, huge population. Yeah, it's on the European side of Istanbul.
It's a kind of link, especially the old one, Silk Road. Mm-hmm. Silk Road, the Mecidiyeköy on the Silk Road actually. But today is many the transportation, the
links, main roads,
the subway, and also the highway, as all of them.
It's like a crossing point for all these
things.
Exactly. Yeah. Many different communities living there, which have now expanded. So you had like the Armenians, the Greeks, the Jews, the Turks, everybody living side by side. And now it's an area which is, there's a lot of banks, a lot of offices, a lot of residential buildings, and also very large, I think it's the largest indoor shopping centre in Europe, which is there as well, which is nearby. So a very busy neighborhood. So if we talk about the inspiration of the design and how Tram Cadde, what was Tram Cadde inspired by, we talked about a few things, like for example the agora and existing bazaars. If you could talk a little bit about those for us.
I think the shopping never changed, and it comes from the 3,005 years. And the buying, selling, and bargaining, negotiating relationship. But today there are many chain stores. The chain store, comes to any cities, any shopping mall, their rules. Especially department stores. Another story. But we would like to are interested in the local potential. The shopping mall, existing shopping mall, has many stores, but on the top, we call that Tram Cadde. We tried to add new potential, new flavor restaurants, the small. The bar and the cafes, and also a new generation store.
It's like an alternative to the mall which is underneath it. It's like an extension of it, with a new type of ambience, a new type of environment, a different type of environment.
And in the open air spaces in between, among the stores, made by the containers. And also the open air cinemas, and also the square and the multi-purpose area for concert. I think that every week there's a concert there, different groups and bands, and
these are the qualities that you've drawn out from inspiration, such as the agora, like the public space, the gathering of people, and the entertainment versus the commercial side, and similarly in the bazaars as well. These qualities that you've extracted out of those.
Yeah, giving the people the I shop, therefore I am. That's the idea. Being socialized, and also for a restaurant part, we can say that we invite some potential group and a young group, and they open their first restaurant or cafes or bar, and then they spread different places in our cities now. We are not looking for only making a space, creating the event space, creating the life, creating the relationship, communication between our clients and our owners, our tenants, our citizens.
And when you talk about relationships, it does remind me about one of the other inspirations which was taken from the project, such as the Turkish bazaar, for example, the relationship between the tenants themselves, the relationship between the customers and the tenants and the neighbouring area. Could you talk a little bit about that as well, and the formulas that are present within the bazaars and how they are reinterpreted in Cadde?
I think we created a different store formulas. One of them, the permanent, is successful and powerful, and they have what they do, and they sell maybe the last 20 years the same products. And the second one, they need to understand their customers, clients, and the people, what they want to buy. And they need the temporary spaces, or it's a kind of outlet. They have the many stuff, and they would like to sell them quickly for 2 days, 3 days, and because they don't want to pay more rent and maintenance. It's a kind of the experimental relationship. The Cadde is this kind of 3 different models, and also it's not a direct shopping, but the concert, a open air cinema, and as a new event organization also, the fourth one. And we would like to give them the spaces as a multi-purpose, multitask. You can transform and change and divide easily. Therefore, we use the containers. Containers is, maybe you can. Everybody knows for transportation. What is so attractive type of the product, but I would like to warn people, and it's not easy to use them, to transfer them as a space.
And this sort of thing that you mentioned about the sharing in spaces and the different layers and different levels is something that we see, like in, say, for the Asian bazaars, for example, with lots of different activities going on, and spaces which you normally associate with maybe circulation that can be used for selling products, and also selling things that you can't just find, say, in the average shopping centre, but alternative things, handmade things, individual things. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Bosphorus Strait and the maritime traffic, and also about abandoned shipping containers. As you can see from this slide, 50,000 vessels pass through the Bosphorus annually, making it one of the most busiest stretches of sea in the world. And this causes quite a lot of problems, especially because it's quite dangerous to navigate through it, being so narrow, and also the fact that because it has differing layers of depth, and this also makes it difficult to navigate through. There's been over 400 accidents on the Bosphorus since 1936. In particular, the Independent in the Bosphorus in 1979 was a huge accident, and as a consequence, millions of litres of crude oil were spilt into the sea. This had a huge effect on the ecology, and the mess was left for the municipality of Istanbul to clean up, as well as the local people. So therefore, Istanbul has a very, very large responsibility because of the fact that the Bosphorus runs right through the middle of it. But also large cargo ships also do have accidents on the Bosphorus as well. And because of this, many shipping containers find their way either to the bottom of the seabed or are just floating around on the surface. Some of the damaging effects of having shipping containers lying around at some of the ports around Istanbul. So salvage, lost shipping containers are a huge problem, as you can see. One of the main issues with them is that they use a lot of space, and they're unsightly, and they're very difficult to move. And this is a huge problem for Istanbul, and the entire responsibility is left for Istanbul, although the Bosphorus is an international gateway for vessels that are travelling from the Mediterranean towards the Black Sea. Inspirational projects around which show the benefits of recycling. So with all this available material, it was our intention to use it and to create an iconic project which illustrates recycling at its best, and also which shows Istanbul that these containers can be used for other functions. So this is an illustration from the initial stages of the design. As you can see here on the left hand side, you have the section where there's the containers, and this is a more fixed part of the design, which is permanent, though the containers can be moved around, rearranged in the future. In the middle you have the section where things are rather temporary, temporary buggies and temporary vendors, and in the far end you have the entertainment space. Over here you can see a section where the two different layers can be seen. The lower section is much more denser, where all the activity happens, and the upper level is a lot more quieter and calm, and that's those two differences.
Cadde has the main square and some side squares together. It's like a village. Looks like affordable, made by the containers, but well designed, and also the design piece by piece. And because we tried the different alternatives, how can we organize the relationship among the containers? How can we obtain some spaces easily go, and attractive streets, and making it surprisingly.
And also from this early proposal, we know that the different zones and the function of each different place kind of helps to bring people together and form relationships, like those things that we talked about from the bazaar, for example, and how the relationships between the vendors themselves or between the people visiting, and the sort of alternative things that are available here to, say, the average shopping mall. helps to reestablish those relationships in a community that is very, very dense, and there's not many recreational facilities around.
Yeah, I think the today's in Istanbul there are maybe a couple of modern art museum or contemporary museum, but the art fair is so successful. 3 days. I think the Art Basel Miami and Frankfurt, Art Basel Dubai, and Istanbul Contemporary Fair. It's kind of the 3 days. Why do people tend to go and buy art? A kind of from a kind of bazaar, and a kind of in between the shopping mall and a fair, a bazaar. We need today this kind of the mix ideas, not only one. It gives more potential and dynamics. We invited the many graffiti artists from the different countries, and also we are planning to the next year, the 1 week the graffiti festival. And graffiti, it's not the formal art, but it's so attractive, so interesting. You don't know who paints on the wall, but it says something. And
it's like an anonymous expression.
About today's feeling.
So the design in itself was a methodological approach that you took, and you could describe it as being modular, where you have the units being adjustable and expandable to some degree. With a industrial shipping, obviously with the shipping containers, it has this kind of industrial feel to it. You've optimized them so they become an array of units with several levels of iterations and playful interventions. And something which you've done is you scaled down the urban planning elements. So you've created squares and plazas, shortcuts, which we'll talk about in a moment when we see the plans.
What we designed like this, the rectangular and also crisscross to this kind of and as a kind of the Broadway and like the New York plan. It gives us the more higher accessibility. You can go the shortcut everywhere. And the second thing, the more facade surface, more why we need that daylight, and also the advertising and graffiti spaces. And the third one, making it interesting, rememberable spaces among the streets. That's the three goals for us. I think that the Trump Cadde may be a micro master planning. And we do today the 6 kilometers by 6 kilometers by 2-3 kilometers master planning in a different country. But this is on the micro has the same ideas, same mentality, same mindset. There are different perspectives.
Yes.
City is by streets has different perspectives. All cities has different perspectives and different looking. You can see from this area, maybe a church, a mosque, a building you remember. This is your way, or your childhood would be there, you easily remember, and the architecture and also the city design creates the memory. That's the important thing. I always did the good building, good master planning would be walkable. And in ground floor, what you do, and for any design, the master planning, the building design, the ground floor for public. The ground floor would be open, visible, and orientable, and understanding all city. But some cities maybe has the slope. Even that, you can create different ground floors. And ground floor isn't only what architect, designer shares the other people. Second floor is more experimental. The more the sitting, relaxing, and also the field for restaurants, herbs and their ingredients.